Hello, my delicious co-creators. Lilou here. I'm today in Paris with Marie-Lise Labonté. Hello, Lilou. Great seeing you in person. We have done several interviews over Skype, and now we're in Paris. Amazing city. You spend a lot of time on the islands in the Caribbean, don't you? Yes, I do. I live on the Dominican Republic, but I also spend some time in Paris. Go back and forth. I love it. Amazing energy. Wonderful book. I'm really excited to speak of your latest book, the one that is coming out in French in March, The Doors of the Heart. I find it really important to speak of this more than an organ, and we're really going to speak of the intelligence of the heart. Yes, the heart is a center, an energy center. It's not just, it's important for the human being. It speaks of this intelligence and this consciousness that is needed for the evolution of the planet to recenter in the sharing, in the vibration of consciousness, and also we're going to talk of the healing of the heart, because we can really share amazing psychic abilities, but also survive and live on another level when our heart is part of our life. Our communication with others would suffer otherwise. So the heart, this book, it speaks of different aspects of this intelligence of the heart. Can you speak of what is the closed heart versus an open heart? A closed heart is a heart that has a lot of resentment and something that is inside of us deeply, and that we like kind of treasure it. And this shuts down dimensions of our heart. For example, I could love you, but also have resentment, envy or jealousy towards others. But for the heart, it doesn't work that way. Even for our soul and consciousness and psyche, we need to love fully. That's what we're asked for to do right now on the planet, to not hold back, to not hold some of these doors closed and some others fully open. This is an illusion, because really the heart breathes like any organ and any vibration with open doors. Imagine we're in a door and you invite a lot of people inside this home, and we keep some doors closed to protect from some things, but some others we would fully open. But as you can see, it's not really right in this consciousness of love. We speak of vulnerability, authenticity, the non-separation, to bring others towards ourselves, to go towards others. This would be too simplistic to say that. We, of course, can have hidden gardens and secrets and intimacy for ourselves, but this is different. This is different than to maintain hatred for another person and to punish them. So to have an open heart, it's to be responsible for the love that we can share, for the love that we have for our life, for our past. Yes, there are always things that we can suffer from, but if we stay centered and focused on our wombs, then we would lose our capacity to live fully in love. So what I invite people to do, I invite to become conscious of our lives as souls incarnated here on earth, and be responsible for the life that we have chosen to live with our past, our present, and what we can create in the future. We're speaking of souls, so there is a spiritual dimension to the opening of the heart. It's not possible otherwise. What I mean is that in a human body as a temple of the soul. There are 3 levels of consciousness. There's the rooting, there's the heart that wants to share, and the consciousness, our capacity to connect to something much bigger than the small me, the ego. So there's something much bigger inside of us and around us, and in love we are invited to open fully to something much bigger. In our capacity to love, we can always stay in our positions, and I'm gonna love one person a little bit and another one much, much more. But love is a big apprenticeship. Love brings us to places where we thought we couldn't live anymore because we were hurt. So I want to invite people to leave these places where we were hurt. So we're speaking here of sharing, but also receiving, right? Yes, the sharing is possible when we give of ourselves, but first to others, but to ourselves. And we need to be able to receive. To receive the other, we need to be able to know the emptiness. We need to be able to deal with our old wounds. And because until we are living those wounds, then there's not enough room to receive this love. And the sharing of love would not be as powerful, because we would still be in a place where it's still closed. Yes, so yes, love is in the sharing and receiving, indeed. And receive life, not only one person to the next. Here we're speaking of the multidimensional doors, right? Yes, in our heart we have different dimensions: psychic, emotional, physical, and this emptiness, this invites us to clean all this up. So we are an entity, incarnated entity, and we live on in many different levels at the same time. But if I am a person, a regular person, closed in a womb, for example, we've lost a loved one, and if we disconnect from life because of that, then we don't salute life anymore, and life is about sharing. We think that we own life, but when we see life, death from close, we see that it's only something that we have for a short time. And so it's important to say yes to life and to love instead of being closed. I love to start my videos with the co-creation, because we are co-creation. We are co-creators in this dance of life, yes. Co-creator with ourselves, to reunite all the different parts of ourselves, to align our capacity to create, and also live synchronicities that we meet in the daily life with other souls, incarnated souls that we will create, like we are doing right now. We are creating and we're sharing. These are beautiful connections that not about putting down people. It's about networks that allow to grow and to inspire and to love more. What are the characteristics of the heart? We speak often of the intuition. The heart, there's a certain wisdom. I'm going to repeat a little bit what I said earlier, is that there is intuition, but also to be able to distinguish and not just open it for any reason. So we don't put ourselves in a toxic relationship where I know that the other person doesn't respect himself or herself, and also me. So I'm able to make the difference and to choose to spend time or not with this person. So in the intelligence of the heart, there is a consciousness and of wanting to maintain a high vibration so that the heart stays happy and open. There's a lot of joy in the heart. Of course, there is a lot of hurt and all of that, but all of this is hiding a big potential of love, of joy. It's the real joy from the childhood, the being amazed at things and being expressing ourselves and finding it so wonderful, finding life or another person beautiful. This is the intelligence of the heart. Where does this information that we receive comes from? How do we know that it's really something coming? Could it be coming from the fears too? Yes, it's important to know your heart and to know when it's a womb in this lifetime or another, but to really notice the repetition in love and to explore it's maybe, and to say that, to ask yourself and think that maybe I will stop to feed these negative, this limited beliefs. So the consciousness of love can then open. The more I will know myself, the more I will be able to know if it's an intuition or if it's coming from something that I know, or it's coming from the old good fears, not to want to love, to be heard again. So do I really want to live behind this fear and live halfway? So the heart, the body, if holding back, then dries up. It's not a mistake. You know, if we're having this body and the temple needs the flowers, the joy, the pleasure, the wind blowing. What does the soul wants in this incarnation? What I've observed is that the soul wants to express itself, manifest, to accomplish what they were here to come for. There is a dimension, I could use the word mission, but it can be scary for some people, but it's like a mantra, a very personal one that is also transpersonal, and we want to, the ego, let the soul express itself, for our soul to take the whole full room in our body. And there's some little techniques in waking up, when we wake up in the morning. Yes, breathing, meditation, and taking the time to thank life. The gratitude is not something that comes naturally when our heart is closed. It is a practice. Of course, gratitude is a natural thing. It's the joy, but if we were hurt in the past, we forgot to be grateful. So every morning, thank life, thank people around you, thank what is. And of course, it could be bigger, better, but what is the most important? It's to feel good. It's to feel good in our shoes, to feel well right now, to be conscious. Wow. My heart is opening. I love it. I really love this, to see how fast the heart wants to open and how much we can hold it sometimes back. Yes, that's why all of a sudden some people are like, think they have a heart attack or some problems with their heart, because once the energy of the heart starts flowing like a kid, then you really go and you open your arms, and when you were little, maybe some person said around you to close, but when we're adults, the heart wants to open. The arms and the shoulders want to open up. All of that is an opening, and so this opening is natural, and we hold back because of our beliefs and because of auto-suggestions, to not look too spontaneous or free, because otherwise other people will think that. No, there's so many social beliefs that are limiting, but our heart wants. The more we evolve as a soul, the more the heart has to continue and follow this evolution and be part of it. And so it would start beating up a little bit different. Some people feel it, very like physical, even small pains, but it's like an initiation, really. It's really all about opening up to something much bigger than ourselves. Our heart is a consciousness within us that wants to open. So when it's there, you can always be relaxed and start breathing and to open up physically even, and therefore, and little by little, it will really open. The ego wants to fight. Before the heart opens, the ego is really there. No, it's not possible. Something bad. We're going to find something negative. Yes, the ego is fearful of being hurt again. But if we continue to live these wounds, then we would continue to live the same thing. So it's really important to meet with these wounds, to meet with these fears. For example, for me, it was the abandonment, but to continue anyway, regardless. Because the antidote to fear is love, and it transmutes everything. So I know you wrote another book about the souls, but here it's like we take the hand of the fear and to go through. How does this work? Yeah, there's really doors all around the heart, all around it. And I remember one day there is a master that told me, it's amazing, your heart is open, but there is still a door that you're keeping closed. And I would know exactly what he meant. I could tell him it's exactly there. And it was really resentment that I had from the fact that I thought that my dad had abandoned me. And I was 30 years old back then, and I thought, Marie-Lise, you can't continue to live with this close. Let go of your father and what he has done. There is something that we can do. We don't have to wait for the others to do it, to save our heart. We always wait for others. Yeah, other people wait for a spiritual master, because some spiritual master would help open some doors. But you could also say, no, I'm going to leave it closed, let it close. So it's really up to us. And this little door, how did you open this one you're talking about? By letting go, simply letting go and allowing my father to be as it is, and to know that the man I would meet would not be perfect. Magnificent, yes. Is there a last little thing that you would like to share? I would like to speak of Jérôme Manger, which I co-created this book with. We'll be able him to answer many more questions with you. Thank you so much, Marie-Lise. Much, much love, my delicious co-creators. Big, big kisses from Paris. Bye-bye. doors of the heart. I find it really important to speak of this more than an organ, and we're really going to speak of the intelligence of the heart. Yes, the heart is a center, an energy center. It's not just, it's important for the human being. It speaks of this intelligence and this consciousness that is needed for the evolution of the planet to recenter. Great seeing you in person. We have done several interviews over Skype, and now we're in Paris. Amazing city. You spend a lot of time on the islands in the Caribbean, don't you? Yes, I do. I live on the Dominican Republic, but I also spend some time in Paris. Go back and forth. I love it. Amazing energy. Wonderful book. I'm really excited to speak of your latest book, the one that is coming out in French in March. Hello, my delicious co-creators, Lilou here. I'm today in Paris with Marie-Lise Labonté. Hello, hello Lilou. In the sharing, the vibration of consciousness, and also we're going to talk of the healing of the heart, because we can really share amazing psychic abilities, but also survive and live on another level when our heart is part of our life. Our communication with others would suffer otherwise. So the heart, this book, it speaks of different aspects of this intelligence of the heart. Can you speak of what is the closed heart versus an open heart? A closed heart is a heart that has a lot of resentment and something that is inside of us deeply, and that we like kind of treasure it.